What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Sean.
And we are speaking the language of bromance. I'm ready for a calm, lovely podcast with you, Sean.
Richard, back in the day, in the year 1776, we went and told the Brits to suck it.
We went to war. Damn it. See, I got loud.
Well, it's kind of, we were just talking to us about the pre-show, like there's a new Fallout game coming out that you're pumped for, which is Fallout 76.
You know what? Okay, see, like, you're already, like, I'm not pumped. I have cautious optimism.
You're like, this is going to be the greatest game ever. Like, I've already went out and bought, like, all the t-shirts they have.
No.
I bought the deluxe Xbox edition.
Apparently, they have a map that glows in the dark.
I heard you already bought 3 of those for each room, just in case. You took the day it comes off out, even though you don't know what that day is.
No, they have the date. I can find the date, but I'll find the date later.
Sometime in November.
No, they have an actual day. They announced a day. They said it will be on this day in November.
But anyway, Richard, we're at that time where we're getting ready to celebrate the 4th of July. Great holiday, one of my favorite holidays.
Yeah. The day we said fuck you to the British.
Yeah, and Richard, we decided like we needed a mascot. America needed a mascot.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Franklin was like, hey, how about the turkey? Because nothing strikes fear in the heart of people like turkeys.
Are we the only country that does that? Like, do other countries have a mascot? Like, does Australia have the kangaroo?
I don't know. I'm sure all of them have like national animals.
Did you ever notice that Australia is a country and also a continent?
I did know that, yeah.
I find that interesting.
Antarctica's the same way.
Yeah, who rules Antarctica? And
polar
also,
bears.
What's the animal of Antarctica? Is it a polar bear?
No, it's a penguin. It's weird. You'd think the polar bears would vote polar bears. We're like, no, we like the penguins. They taste yummy.
Well, that makes sense, because if we were like that, then we wouldn't have an eagle as our national animal.
Yeah.
It would be like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Well, actually, that'd probably like strike fear in the heart of all the countries. And if not, they'd admire
Chuck
it.
Norris.
It's like, we don't want to smell what The Rock is cooking.
No, it's Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, that's John Cena.
No, see,
I've been out of the wrestling game for a while.
We were on a roll, and then you killed it. It was all fine.
I think they have very similar theme songs, though.
John Cena just fucks everything up.
Yeah, but you never see him coming. But Richard, this tale takes place, like, you think of like eagles, you think North America, Alaska, Canada, the river that we lived on, the Mississippi River. There's a bunch of them. Those are big birds too.
Big football players. I said Philadelphia. They have eagles.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, they have eagles.
They do.
Yeah.
I never understood.
They play football and they score many baskets.
I never understood why their colors are like purple and green. Like, when I think of eagles, I don't think of those colors.
Well, where's purple come in?
Don't they have purple? Or are they just green
just
and black?
Green.
Just green?
It's like, yeah.
I think they had some purple in that.
No, Vikings have purple.
They have a lot of purple.
They have a lot of purple. You're right. Oh my God! See, now I'm imagining Vikings with eagles on their fucking wrist.
They probably did. I mean, they were sailing the seas. Okay, so sailing the seas, great segue, Richard. Good job.
Thanks, buddy.
So, Richard, you think eagles, you think North America, right? You don't think of these things across the sea. But, Richard, one of them found their way into Shannon, Ireland.
So it's an Irish eagle?
Yeah. What's an Irish eagle sound like?
Oh, top of the morning. Caw-caw. Meh? No?
Where's the trouts in these
oh,
areas?
Kiss me, Blarney Stone. Caw-caw. That's more like a crow.
I don't know what bird, like an eagle sounds make.
I don't know. You see, Colbert always had one at the beginning of a show when he did the Colbert Report.
And just go, Rah!
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
Take out your eyes.
Take out your Irish eyes.
But an American bald eagle found exhausted and starving after flying across the Atlantic winged its way home first class by jet today with an official send-off from Irish Prime Minister Charles Howey. So this is from December 22nd, 1987, Richard.
Okay, I have questions. I have a lot of questions. Number one, you're telling me this bird flew from America to Ireland. I don't buy it.
Yeah, because that is a long flight. Well, what birds fly over that? I don't even know if any do.
The bird of paradise. Planes. That's a bird. They're like, oh, bird in the sky. 747.
The taste is a little metallic, but you get used to it.
Yeah. Peck your eyes out.
Your Irish eyes.
Okay, so here's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing that the bird landed on a ship. The ship got out in the ocean, and then the bird, here's what happened. Okay, so the bird was flying around, and it sees like a mouse or something on a ship, and that's like, oh, fucking tasty mouse, all right.
I already had like 6 trout, but I can't say no to a mouse. It is my cheat day.
So it does that eagle swoop dive, that like eagle fucking like whoosh, where they like nose dive, and they nosedive to catch the mouse. I had one do that in my house.
A bald eagle?
Did I ever tell you that story?
No, you had a bald. No, was it a bald eagle?
I don't know what kind of eagle it was. Okay, here we go. All right. It's a little segue, but it's worth it, I promise. All right. So I'm at work. This was shit.
1987.
No, it wasn't 1987. This was like 10 years ago.
I think so, yeah.
About that.
I think I had just moved to where I live now.
So I get this phone call from my wife, and she calls me, and I answer my phone, and she's like fucking frantic, and I'm like, what is the matter? She's like, there's an eagle in the house. I'm like,
a Philadelphia eagle?
Which one?
Is it Michael Vick? Hide the dogs. Wait, that joke's still relevant, right?
Well, yes, if he wasn't a Falcon.
No, he played for the Eagles around that time.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, he played with the Falcons when it was all.
Yeah, then he got sent to jail and then got out, and then the Philadelphia Eagles were like, hey, come be an Eagle. He's like, I like Philadelphia cheesecake.
He's like, I can't be one of the dogs.
I can't go to the dog pound in Cleveland.
So I get this frantic call from my wife. She tells me there's an eagle in the house. And I'm like, who is this? And she's like, no, seriously, there's an eagle in the house. I need you to come home.
You all of a sudden you hear like go quiet, and the eagle picks up the phone and goes, ah! You're like, listen here, bird. I have a specific set of skills. If you leave my daughter now, I swear no harm will come to you.
Listen to me, honey. You're about to be taken by an eagle.
You're not scared of flights, are you?
Just let it happen. Okay, so she's like, I need you to come home. I'm like, and do what exactly? She's like, I need you to come home and get this fucking eagle out of the house. I'm like, how did it even get in the house?
She's like, I left the front door open. Like, damn it, how many times have I told you? Keep the door closed or a goddamn eagle will come in.
First it's drifters, now it's eagles. I'm starting to think you're inviting these people. No, this eagle smashed through my kitchen window, Sean.
Oh, damn. Broken glass and all?
Broken glass and all. My guess is what had happened is that this eagle had seen a mouse or something. Because the house that I lived in at the time, I had farmland.
Oh, yeah.
on three sides of the house. So mice were pretty common.
Probably all
I usually like had some. There was usually some stray cats, and I kind of feed them a little bit just to keep them around and kill mice. So I had like 2 or 3 that were wandering that would like I'd see them kind of come and go. But anyway, so my guess is that there was a mouse like running along the outside on the windowsill. Some eagle sees the mouse and it's like, I'm gonna get that fucking mouse, and does its little swoop dive bomb dive misses the mouse, crashes through not just my window, Sean, crashes through a storm window because I had the storm windows down. So it was
it's like two different plates of glass.
Yeah, it crashed through 2 plates of glass. I don't think I had the screens in yet. So yeah, it crashed through 2 plates of glass and lands on my kitchen floor underneath the table. Hits the kitchen floor, crashes through 2 plates of glass, hits the kitchen floor, and lands under the table. My wife is in the living room, hears this fucking cacophony,
runs into your room, grabs your giant sword.
She's in the living room. Living room is right next to the kitchen. So she gets up and she looks and she sees this like thing, this like mass underneath the table. Has no idea what it is. Sees this thing under the table and sees the broken window. Now this time my son was maybe 2 years old. So he's little, you know. So she has him like in her arms. You know, she picks him up and she sees this thing. She's like, "What the hell is that?" As soon as she lays her eyes on this mass, all of a sudden this bird like stands up. Like stands straight up, like just, you know, like stands straight up.
Comes to. Its concussion is starting to subside.
A little bit, yeah. So it stands up and it turns its head at my wife, and it does that weird like bird head thing,
like a raptor.
Where, like they kind of, where they kind of like tilt their head to the side a little bit, like, you know, they like crank their head super fast and then tilt. So you're like, oh Jesus! So as soon as she sees this bird fix its gaze on her, she panics. She throws my son at it.
Oh, Jesus, did she really?
Bedroom. No, she didn't.
Wait, is this a tale of how we had to go fight that bird to get your son back?
Listen to me, boy. You're about to be taken. And my son's like, I'm 2. I don't understand a word you're saying.
10 years later, we rescue your son, and when you first see him, he turns his head real quick and cocks it to the side.
Oh, my God. It's learned. No, so she has my son. She runs into the bedroom and slams the door. So now the bird is closed off from the rest of the house. It's in the kitchen/living room because there's no doorway. I mean, there's a doorway, but there's no door between the kitchen and the living room. So it's in the kitchen/living room area of the house. All the other doors are closed, so it can't get out that way.
So it's just like tearing through your stuff, trying to find your money and your jewelry.
Probably, yeah. Looking for my fucking Social Security card. Yeah. So that's when I get this frantic call, and she's like, "You fix it. Just get here and fix it." And I'm like, "What do you want me to do?" She's like, "Get it out of the fucking house."
Like, put it on the phone.
Listen to me. Just take the girl, take the money.
I don't want any trouble. Listen, I know. He's like, you know, you have back taxes, right? Like, holy shit.
Bird's like, you got trouble.
I didn't know they were doing birds to get this stuff now.
That's how the IRS sends carrier pigeons. It's not carrier pigeons.
Eagles.
It's just eagles that smash through your fucking window. And it just has a note that says, "We know," and it has an IRS stamp on it. Oh my God, they found me. Okay, so I drive home. Fairly, you know, probably breaking the speed limit. You know, that frantic drive home because you're like, there's a crisis at the house.
Yeah.
So I get home. Sure enough, there's a fucking eagle in my kitchen.
How big was it? Like how tall when it was standing? Did it like 2 foot?
Yeah. No, probably, you know, maybe 18 inches.
So did it feel like something you could go up and pick up?
With 2 hands, yeah, I would say that. Okay, so I'm in the laundry room now. I see the bird in the kitchen, and I'm like, "Babe, can you hear me?" We're like yelling across the house through closed doors. And so I come around to the outside. She opens up a window to the bedroom. And I'm like, "So how the fuck am I supposed to get this thing out of the house?" She's like, "I've been thinking about it. Here's what I came up with." She's like, I have this blanket. I want you to take this blanket and throw the blanket on the bird, and then you could just throw the whole blanket outside.
And she's like, then you could take this bat and beat the shit out of it so it never comes back.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the blanket. We'll just hit the blanket with a bat, and then we'll throw the blanket in an unmarked grave and never speak of this again. No, she's like, throw the blanket outside. The bird will figure out a way to get out of the blanket and then fly off. I'm like, okay, that seems like a decent enough plan. All right. So I'm like, okay, so that's what we're going to do. So she hands me this blanket through the window. I decide I'm going to go in through the front door in the living room. So that way I can so I kind of hold the blanket up, like covering myself. So the blanket's like a barrier between me and this taloned creature of death.
Yeah, it's if rabbits could only figure this out. Just put a blanket over yourself. You'd be all right.
Yeah. See, Bugs Bunny, we would have had no Bugs Bunny cartoons because walking around with a blanket, and Elmer Fudd's like, where the fuck is this goddamn rabbit at? So I open up the front door. I have this blanket up as almost like functioning, I suppose, like a force field. I'm kind of peering over the top of it so I can make sure I have my aim correct when I drop this blanket down on it. Sean, this bird came at me.
Yeah, we just talked earlier. It was coming for your eyes.
I swear to God, this bird came at me. This bird leapt from the kitchen floor, spread its full wings.
Yeah.
Sean, this eagle went spread eagle.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why they call it that.
Okay, so I like you were asking me before, like how tall was the bird? Like and I said about 18 inches. Okay, Sean, when this eagle unfurled its fucking wings, I thought this thing was fucking like a small dinosaur. Like this thing looked like a raptor because. So I had one of those wide kind of double doorways.
Yeah.
Like like a fairly sizable doorway between the kitchen and the living room. This bird soars past through that doorway. The tips of its wings are touching the sides of this doorway.
And then when it hit the blanket, like it was like hitting a wall and it just fell down unconscious.
So it comes at the blanket. So as soon as I see it like do this, like come at me, fucking like eyes aflame with fucking rage and, searing straight, aiming for my heart, I throw the blanket in front of me. It hits the blanket. And the weight of the blanket, because it was like a comforter, the weight of the blanket drops it. Okay? So I'm like, okay, oh my God, it fucking worked. Step 1's over. What the fuck was step 2? Step 2 was get it outside. So I start to try and collect the ends to kind of almost cinch it up like a hobo's rucksack. Yeah. Okay? As soon as that happens, Sean, I see the talons of this bird start to poke out through this fucking comforter. This thing is shredding this fairly. It was an older comforter, but it was still a comforter. This thing is shredding this thing from the inside.
Razor sharp things.
Yeah,
you're lucky it didn't get a hold of you.
That's what I'm saying. Like you hear, razor sharp fucking claws, razor sharp talons, and like you're like, okay, like it needs sharp. No, Sean, these things are fucking sharp. It's poking through this thing and basically trying to like rip its way out. And it's being fairly successful. So I just, as soon as I get like a couple, like 3/4 of the end cinched up, I just, with not even looking, I just throw it to the side and out the front door. Uh-huh. And as soon as I throw it out the front door, it lands on the porch and this thing has now torn like a hole through the blanket, and its head fucking pokes out.
Pokes it out.
And then,
here's Johnny.
Yeah, because you know what it did, Sean? As soon as it did that, it did its little fucking creepy head turn, and it did it right at me. It looked like straight out of one of those demonic toys movies.
Oh yeah,
where, like the marionette like turns its head and like looks at you with those fucking dead eyes of a fucking monster. Mm-hmm. I don't know fear, Sean. I'm not too familiar with fear
until that day.
In that moment,
did it just slowly walk out the door and fly away, or did it hang around for a bit?
It clawed through the rest of the comforter, clawed a giant hole through the comforter. As soon as it was free of the blanket, it flew off.
Yeah, you should have framed that. That's like a battle of death. That's a D&D battle there, like a first level D&D battle.
Right?
You should have got some XP and maybe like some gold coins.
Maybe it left it. I never checked the blanket. There might have been gold coins in there.
Yeah.
And a +1 sword.
+1 sword of eagle fighting. Did your wife like look at you like a hero when that happened, or was she pissed because the blanket was all messed up?
She was more pissed because the window was broken.
Oh yeah.
That thing because it hit that fucking window with so much force that it threw glass like through basically across the kitchen and living room floor. Like it had to have been going like 55 miles an hour to smash through both the two fucking plates of glass. And honestly, I didn't see like a scratch on it.
That's surprising. I figured it'd be cut up pretty good. That's probably why I think it'd be so like defensive, because if it's hurt, like they always say, like don't mess with an injured animal, because they're fighting for death on two fronts at that point. At least they think they are.
Exactly. But yeah, this bird looked completely uninjured, smashed through two plates of glass and looked completely uninjured. You know what that means? It was born from hell. Or that's what it means.
It was on bath salts. Maybe that's what it was. This eagle's all messed up on bath salts, and he saw himself in the mirror in the window and crashed through it.
Great. All the fucking eagles in the world. I get the tweaker eagle. Hey, man.
You're Nazis, man. You're Nazis.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, that's my fucking eagle story. So, everybody's like, oh, Eagles, fucking symbol of America, blah, blah, blah. Philadelphia Eagles. You know what? Fuck those goddamn sky rats with wings.
They cost you 2 windows and a blanket. Did you were renting at that time, weren't you? Or did you guys own the house?
Yeah. Try to explain that one to the landlord. Like, oh, an eagle smashed through the window. Like, he's looking at you like you're fucking crazy.
Where's the feathers? Where's the blood? Well, it was on bath salts.
It was crazy strong. It just smashed through, and it was like, ah! It yelled at me.
You're not going to renew my lease, are you? We'll move. But Richard, this eagle that they say flew all the way to Ireland. Like you said, it dive bombed into a ship, broke through the window, was hanging out there. Some ship guy threw a blanket on it.
Yep, tried to throw it outside, but by that time they were at sea, so the eagle's like, well, where do I go? That's what happened. So what happened is that this eagle tried to get a mouse and it missed and like cracked its fucking head and knocked itself out, and then it woke up on this boat in the middle of the ocean, and the eagle's like, oh shit, now what?
It just stayed on it, because every time it tried to fly away, it's like it seasonal land, so it came back. Or no, it's like any kind of like comedic tale. Like he wakes up to the and he looks up and there's people talking with an Irish accent.
Yeah. And then the eagle's like, holy shit, I've been Shanghai.
He walks up, he's like, hey, where's Philadelphia? Where's Philadelphia? And the other bird's like,
what are you talking about? Oh, you're a crazy lad.
You speak with a funny accent.
The bird's like, no, you speak with a funny accent. I live in America. I represent America. What do you represent?
Beer.
Me too. I'm on a fucking beer can.
Oh, yeah, he is. I think he's on a couple, probably.
Probably.
That's kind of like where you want to show you're like true American. It's like, poof, bald
I'm on
eagle.
a beer can. I'm on a motorcycle. I'm on the Colbert Report.
Yeah. We should put that on our logo just to show like we're America's podcast.
Yeah, I don't. Do you really think America wants us as its representatives in the podcast world?
Yeah, they could do worse.
Like, nah, we're fine. We're good.
Like, we didn't even know you were still in the States. Like, we need to deport you. Here, get on the ship. Richard, this looks like Ireland.
We got Shanghai. I was just trying to get a mouse and then I hit my head.
So the Prime Minister of Ireland wanted to wish Godspeed to our feathered friend. May he live long and happily in the wild back in his natural habitat, as he told reporters as they put the eagle on a plane back to the United States.
Okay, there we go. Another question. How the fuck did... Why did they put an eagle on a plane?
Well, I wonder how he got through TSA. He's walking through. It's like, can you empty your... Are you here for business or pleasure? He's like, I don't really know.
I got shanghaied. So I don't know what that means. A little both? I don't know. There was some Irish bird that wanted me to kiss the Blarney Stone, and I don't know what that meant.
So I put a blindfold on and did it. Now I think I have a disease.
Bird flu.
That's how it came. That's how it started. He's like,
yep.
Like, well, have you eaten any exotic things, or do you have any exotic things on you? And he goes, no. Achoo! Just a little cold.
Oh, excuse me.
Just a little stuffed up. It's probably from the dust and mold and the potatoes. So the 6-month-old bird, tethered on the arm of an Irish wildlife ranger, Pat O'Connell, tried to fly off in startled fright as they had a round of applause for the bird. So they kind of like, yay, bird, which is weird. Like, this bird somehow finds its way to Ireland and they're celebrating it.
Wait a minute. The bird wasn't in a cage?
Doesn't sound like it. Pat O'Connell.
So they just like had the bird. Like, there's just a dude sitting in a fucking first class seat with this fucking eagle on his arm.
I imagine that's your next flight, Richard. You're going to walk through and you're going to be like walking through TSA. You're going to hear, Caw! You're like, I've heard that sound before.
I know.
You're going to have flashbacks.
Voice.
You're going to sit in your seat and all of a sudden you're going to see this bird head just like coming down the aisle. And it's going to sit next to you, and you're going to, like, look at it side-eyed and be like, I think that's the fucking eagle that broke into my house. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of your eye, you see it look at you and tilt its head and whisper, I am that bird that broke into your house.
Hey, bird!
The eagle send their regards.
$200. I didn't get my deposit back because of you. Fucking bird.
It's like the
fucking sky rat.
It's the Peter Griffin chicken fight. You and him are battling it out on the plane.
I don't think that would be that long-lived a battle. I think that bird would fucking claw me to death.
Oh, yeah. It'd take out your eyes.
Yeah, peck out my fucking eyes.
That'd be a bad
fucking
death.
Bird.
I wonder how many people have died from eagle attacks.
I don't know. That's a good question. No, I mean, I like the mental image of, like, you sit down on a plane and there's just this dude with a fucking eagle on his goddamn arm. Like, who are you?
Well, you walk by and be like, oh, that's the most American dude I ever seen. You're like, what's your name?
Right?
My name's Pat O'Connell. Huh.
This is kind of juxtaposition here. I don't know what to make of this.
But when this bird landed, O'Connell was the one who nursed it back to health with a diet of venison and pigeons after finding it in a Killinary National Park in Western Ireland. So he was feeding this dude
so
pigeons.
They fed it meat.
Yeah, but he fed it pigeons, which seems really weird, which I think what happened is he finds this bird and he's like, I got a pigeon problem. Like, I got pigeon shit all over my porch. I want that to stop. I want that to end.
Yep. You're going to feed a bird other birds. That's fucking metal. I'm going to make this eagle a fucking cannibal eagle.
Is that cannibalism?
No, it's not really cannibalism.
It seems pretty close to it, though.
Is it cannibalism?
I don't know.
If we eat apes, is that cannibalism?
No, I guess not.
I mean, because that's kind of what we're talking about here. different species.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Let's see. So then they gently put the eagle back in its cage for the... Oh, no. So I'm sorry. I messed up. It's not the... It's funnier, but they basically kind of took him to the plane on his arm, but they put him in the cage for 7 hours on the flight to New York.
Oh, see, okay.
I like the other way better.
I do like the image of a guy sitting, but yeah, then you got to hold your arm up like for 8 hours straight.
We have to have both arms, so you have to flip it. Like, it's a 7-hour flight, so if you're Pat O'Connell,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you're like
transatlantic flight.
Oh, like I knew I shouldn't have ate that. What's a good cuisine in Ireland? That would like tear up your stomach.
Something with potatoes.
Don't they have like some kind of like pork belly thing that's big there, or is that
Everybody's
Britain?
got pork belly. Pork belly's good.
I've never had it.
It's delicious. It's like bacon, and it's bacon. Like, imagine bacon not cut, like it's one whole piece, and then you fucking fry it. You fucking put it in a pan. You like score the skin, and then put it in a pan, and you roast it for like 2 hours. Oh my god! You like pork rinds? Do you like pork rinds?
Oh, I do love pork rinds.
Okay, so imagine this. Imagine pork rinds and then bacon underneath.
Ooh.
Like imagine
yeah,
one giant slab of bacon with covered in one continuous layer of pork rinds.
That does sound delicious. Do they cook like stuff in the pork belly? So whenever I hear pork belly, I think of like the stomach, like you're cooking the stomach, but you're actually cooking like the belly.
Yeah,
meat.
the belly meat.
Okay.
It's like I said, it's what they use to cut bacon.
Okay.
So, like I said, imagine like a slab of bacon about 6 inches, imagine like a 6 by 6 square of uncut bacon with a skin on. So you score the skin, you season it a little, and then you put it in the oven or something for like 2 hours or something like that. And then you take it out and the skin's all fucking like crispy.
Yeah.
It's got that like you can like take the back of your knife and like tap it and it makes that that tappy crispy sound.
Yeah.
And then underneath is all that sweet fucking bacon meat.
Ooh.
So fucking good.
Is that what you make for July 4th? Is that your July 4th meal?
No, but it should be.
Yeah. That seems like I guess like hot dogs and hamburgers is more the American thing, but that does seem...
Oh my God, you make that like a sandwich? It's fucking amazing.
Let's see. So, Irish State Airliner, the Aer Lingus, donated the first class compartment of its flight from Shannon to New York to the bird. Now officially named Iollar Garlic, which is... Oh, Iollar. I-O-L-A-R, which is Gaelic for eagle.
Okay.
Which is kind of lazy. So they didn't even give it a good name. And this is where Pat O'Connell, basically he said he believes that the eagle was chased by its parents out of their territory. It got lost and flew 3,000 miles across the Atlantic with the help of strong westerly winds.
That's fucked up.
That's what seems really impossible to me.
Oh, it's an orphan. It's an orphan eagle. You know what? I still don't feel bad. You know why? Because fuck eagles. I hate them.
I mean, could you imagine that day? Like your parents are like, "Hey, get out of our house." It's like that. Did you hear about that 30-year-old dude that was suing his parents?
I did hear about that.
I mean, this story lines up with that. They're like, "Get the fuck out of our house."
Yeah, and then he lost, and then the court was like, "No, we agree with your parents. Get the fuck out."
I haven't listened to any of it because I already hate humanity enough.
I just saw the headlines, and that's why I saw the headlines. The headlines were 30-year-old dude sues his parents because his parents are telling him to leave the house, and the court said, "No, get out of the fucking house.
You're trespassing at this point." I know.
How fucked up is that though? That like your kid takes you to court because you're like, get a fuck out of here. Like, go live your life like a person. Jesus.
I saw there was some interview, I caught bits of it, but like he's being interviewed, and I think it's probably like the poster child of like the things they talk about millennials. Like he's like the poster child of it. like all the bad things.
Yeah, see, yeah, I hate that. I hate that people are making that. Oh, it's like millennials. I'm like, no, this is just a fucking lazy dude.
Yeah. Oh, you can find stereotype like to fit any kind of like age group. Like you could find a person that epitomizes that. But
I have my issues with fucking baby boomers. So I'm starting to become a bit of an ageist. I'm starting to strongly dislike old people.
Well,
but that's a discussion for another time.
Are you like? I think I'm right on the cusp of millennial and whatever the other one is. What aren't you like?
Yeah,
kind of
me
the same
too.
Way?
Yeah, I think when is Gen X runs to 80, 81?
I don't know. It always seems like it teeters.
Gen X runs to like 80, 81, and then the millennial generation is supposed to start in like 81 or 82. And so I was born in 82.
There's like a subsection of millennials, like the ones born in like the mid 90s.
Oh yeah.
Because they're like, well, they've had the internet their whole life, and other stuff that people born in the 80s didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I was an early adopter of the internet, but even then, I still, like, the internet wasn't a thing until, like, when I was in junior high, the internet was a thing.
Yeah, I don't think we had our dial-up until, like, 2000, 2001.
Well, I was going to say, like, it wasn't even a big thing, because this was 93, 94, and so all you had then, it was just chat rooms. So, like, that was the internet to me when I was, like, in, like, preteen, teen age. It was just you talking to people in chat rooms, like posting on message boards and stuff like that.
I remember the one time you were telling me about the guy you talked to named Ilar, and he's like, age/sex/location. You're like, I can't tell you the location. And he's like, don't worry, I have a specific set of skills. It may take me 20 years, but I will find you. That's who broke into your house, Richard, is that guy. Because Ilar is Gaelic for eagle.
Yep. It was that goddamn bird.
Yep.
Who knew birds were so tech savvy?
I know. Early adapters, right?
Right?
Chat rooms.
Yeah. And like I said, these weren't even chat rooms. These were just like message boards.
Oh,
they just functioned as chat rooms because, like, you could see everybody's conversation because you would type something and then post it, and then whoever you were talking to would see your message and then post a response.
Yeah, so it's like what Reddit is today.
Yeah, exactly. It's just you would carry on a conversation with somebody, and you just didn't care that other people could see your conversation.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's exactly like how Reddit was. Or how Reddit is today. But yeah, so like I said, I was a very early adopter of the internet, but I was still went, 12, 13 years of my life without it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I think they say, like there's like a subset of millennials where they've had access to it their entire life.
Uh-huh.
Which I feel like that's getting us to the point where it's like, well, back in my day, we didn't have the internet. We couldn't stream. We had to watch it on VHS.
Yeah.
That scares me, Richard.
Well, I always the thing that makes me feel the one thing that makes me feel old
besides all the pain when you get out of bed,
card catalogs.
Oh, I remember those.
The fact that I would use a card catalog to find a book in a library. That I would go to a library and use a card catalog.
Those were kind of like, they were just getting a lot of that, like, computerized when I was getting into grade school and stuff and needed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, but, like, there's a point in time where it's like, hey, you can only have one source from the internet.
Right.
God, today's kids, I mean, even when I was in college, too, it was all, everything was, I just had to research it on my computer. I could go to, like, things that show different, like, articles written, pull it from that, wiki.
Good times.
Could wiki it, and just paraphrase, and there's my report.
Well, see, like, when I was in college, you didn't, not everybody trusted wiki. So I had a lot of my teachers that said you couldn't use you couldn't use stuff from Wikipedia, but what I would do is I would look at Wikipedia and then look at where they sourced it and then just go there.
Yeah, because they have to source their stuff so you could get right to it from there, which is pretty smart. That's a good idea, Richard. That's a life hack for you college kids out there, for you crazy kids out there that listen to us.
Yeah. Don't worry about like teachers don't trust Wikipedia, but everything on Wikipedia is sourced, so you can just scroll to the bottom of the page.
Yep.
And
I know it's Sunday night. You've got that report due, but you're like, I want to listen to the bros. And you're like, oh, holy shit. Thanks, guys. Report's done in an hour.
Watch out. End of year term papers. Wait, this is 4th of July. It's probably not a lot of papers going on. If you're wanting to research American history and why did the eagle become the fucking symbol of America?
It's a good question.
That's a good question. And also, who paid for this fucking first class ticket for a goddamn eagle? Because I've never flown first class in my entire life. And I think I'm not alone in that. Not a lot of people have flown first class in their life. So how the fuck did an eagle get to do something before me?
Well, it was donated. So I guess what you could do, Richard, is you can try and find yourself in Ireland. Be like, no, I'm the national symbol of podcasting in America.
Please send me back. And they're like, gladly. Please, yeah, we gladly will send you back.
Do I get a first class ticket? No, you get this rowboat. No. Oh.
Yeah. And one oar. Well, that'll just put me in circles. That's not going to do nothing.
So we'll bring. So I know Franklin was a big push of turkeys. He thought turkeys would be the thing we needed as our national bird. But let's see. So this is baldeagleinfo.com.
I'm down with that because turkeys are delicious.
They are, but they're stupid. They can drown. You know that? If it rains, they look up.
Really?
I heard that. I don't know if it's true, but it seems like it. They're ugly birds.
Stupid.
Turkeys are ugly birds.
Turkeys are ugly, but they're fucking so goddamn good.
They got that booger thing hanging from their nose.
Oh, but they're goddamn delicious. I don't care.
Well, Richard,
I don't care how they look.
The bald eagle was chosen on June 20th, 1782. So about 8 years after we told Britain to be like, F you. They're like, well, you can't tell us to F you until you have a national bird.
No, we fought a war, and then after the war,
the war was that. We kept being like, what about this bird? They're like, turkey? That's stupid.
And then we're like, no, you're stupid. And then Britain's like, fight me, bro. And then we're like, totally. And so then we had a war, and the end of the war, we're like, okay, so turkeys. And then one of us is like, turkey is kind of a stupid bird. I heard they drown themselves.
Like, I know Ben Franklin wants that, but I'm pretty sure he had syphilis.
Is that true? I don't know. I read it on the internet. What the fuck is the internet?
Well, no, it's like I read in a book. Well, it has to be true. Books are expensive.
Did you look it up in a card catalog?
Let's see. So, June 20th, 1782, it was chosen as the emblem of the United States of America. They got, like it says, because of its long life, great strength, and majestic looks.
Yeah, until they crash through your fucking window.
So it is said that eagle was used as a national emblem because at one of the first battles of the Revolution, which occurred early in the morning, the noise of the struggle awoke the sleeping eagles on the heights, and they flew from their nest and circled about over the heads of the fighting men, all the while giving vent to their raucous cry. They are shrieking for freedom, said the patriots.
And then somebody was like, no, they're just waiting for us to die so they can pick us fucking clean.
They're pecking that dead Brit. Well, that one over there is pecking that dead American. Oh, these birds are just dicks.
These are indiscriminate bastard birds. Wait a minute, we're indiscriminate bastards. Oh my God, it totally fits.
And he said, thus the eagle, full of boundless spirit of freedom, living above the valleys, strong and powerful in his might, has become the national emblem of a country that offers freedom in word and thought and opportunity for a full and free expansion into the boundless space of the future. This was Maud M. Grant.
Okay, that's okay. Let's fucking tone it down. That's a little heavy-handed. Like it's a fucking bird. Okay, it's not waxing philosophical about the virtues of a prosperous democratic republic.
Oh, at this time, but this was a time where you're fighting for freedom. Like you're all America, F yeah. And you've got this thing. It's like, yeah, this bird represents everything.
Yeah, and then it's like, wait, if this bird had its way, it'd fucking peck my eyes out and claw my face off. Because it's a bird and it don't give a fuck.
So the eagle became the national emblem in 1782. And it was put on the Great Seal. The Great Seal shows a widespread eagle face front, having on his breast a shield with 13 perpendicular red and white stripes, surmounted by a blue field with the same number of stars. And it's got the motto E pluribus unum.
Yeah.
So at the second...
I heard... Okay, wait a minute. One thing. I heard, and I got this from television, so I don't know if this is true, but... The seal of that's on like if you go to the White House, okay, and you go inside the Oval Office, there's a rug, and on the rug is the seal, and the eagle is clutching an olive branch in one claw, and it's clutching arrows in another claw, okay, and it's facing the arrows, but if Congress declares or is facing the
olive branch.
The olive branch. But if Congress declares war, then apparently it's supposed to face the arrows.
Huh.
Now, like I said, I heard this on a television show, so I don't know if this is actually true. But if it is, that means there's a war rug somewhere in like a fucking basement in the White House.
Well, it's probably just it's sitting on top of it. So if it happens, they just flip the one and flip it on top of the other. Because you know if it's like...
they just, like a basketball court, they just like take the... They just
cut
the seal off.
On one side of the rug, it's this. They have to flip the other side. It works. How would you feel if you were the intern that went in there to clean and you flipped it to the wrong side and you started like World War III?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like somebody takes a picture and it's like...
like, wait a minute.
He's facing the arrows.
And we're all dead.
Who the fuck flipped the rug on the wrong side?
All because of Todd.
Intern Todd did it. I'm sorry, it was my first day. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Shut up and get in the fucking bunker.
Oh, look, Todd, there's only room for one more. Wait.
And that's how Todd ended up with 3 arms.
At the Second Continental Congress, after the 13 colonies voted to declare independence from Great Britain, the colonies determined they needed an official seal. So Dr. Franklin, Mr. J. Adams, and Mr. Jefferson, as a committee, prepared a device for the seal of the United States of America. However, the only portion of the design accepted by the Congress was the statement E pluribus unum. Do you know what that means?
From many one?
Okay. From many one.
I think.
6 years. Oh, Jesus Christ. Can you imagine how much money was spent on this? So 6 years and 2 committees later, in May of 1782, the brother of Philadelphia naturalist provided a drawing showing an eagle displayed as the symbol of supreme power and authority. Congress liked the drawing, so before the end of 1782, an eagle holding a bundle of arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other was accepted as the seal. The image was completed with a shield of red and white stripes covering the breast of the of the bird because we want him to be, tasteful.
Yeah. I've actually read somewhere that I think, and this kind of scares me. This is one of the reasons that I didn't totally I was reluctant to share the story about me with the fucking eagle and the blanket and everything, is because I think it's actually a crime it's a federal crime to cause harm to an American bald eagle.
I think so, yeah. I think in your case...
But I didn't cause harm. I just put a blanket on it.
Yeah, you saved it.
It tried to cause harm to me. Do I have to get to plead self-defense?
Well, I think it makes you more American.
Can you please, sir, point out to the court who was the perpetrator of pecking your eyes out? No, sir, I can't see. But where's that fucking bird at?
Well, I've heard, Richard, if you get bit or clawed by an eagle, like right there, an American eagle tattoo just appears.
And then I can take that tattoo into like a Harley store, and they automatically just give me a motorcycle.
Yep, free motorcycle. Any baseball game you get in for free. Apple pie tastes a little bit sweeter. Bud Light starts delivering kegs to your house. And inaugurations, Richard, you're invited to every single one.
Oh my God, I totally fucking lucked out. I totally missed my opportunity.
Yep. You should have let it claw you.
Do it. I can take it. No, I can't take it. Stop.
Ow. So, a crest above the eagle's head with a cluster of 13 stars surrounded by a bright ray, E pluribus human, and yet it was not until 1787 that the American bald eagle was officially adopted as the emblem of the United States. This happened only after many states had already used the eagle in the coat of arms, as New York State did in 1778. Though the official seal has undergone some modifications in the last 200 years, the basic design is the same. When the eagle has been officially recognized as the American's national bird, there have been dissenters who feel the bird was the wrong choice. Benjamin Franklin. Let's read this, what he had to say. So, I wish that the bald eagle had not been chosen as a representative of our country. He is a bird of bad moral character. He does not get his living honestly. You may have seen him perched on some dead trees where, too lazy to fish for himself, he watches the labor of the fishing hawk, and then that diligent bird has at length taken a fish and is bearing it to the nest for the support of his mate and young ones.
See?
The bald eagle pursues him and takes it from him. Beside, he is a rank coward. The little king.
Yeah.
So this is. Imagine Benjamin Franklin saying this.
Franklin's on my side. He's on my side. He's like, fuck these sky rats.
Imagine he's in front of Congress doing this, passionate.
Yeah, lazy bastards.
The little kingbird, not bigger than a sparrow, attacks him boldly and dives him out of the district. He is therefore by no means a proper emblem for the brave and honest of America. And everybody's waiting on bated breath, be like, oh my God, what should it be, Ben?
I loaned one $10 a month ago and it never paid me back.
For a truth, the turkey is in comparison a much more respected bird, and a withal of true original Native American, a bird of courage, and would not hesitate to attack a grenadier of the British Guards, who should presume to invade his farmland with a red coat on.
Oh my God. Okay, so now my mind's working. You ready for this? Army of turkeys.
That's how they did it, turkeys versus eagles in a battle of Biodome.
Not even that. Turkeys versus British soldiers. Soldiers are marching through a field, a bunch of red coats marching through the field, and there's all these Americans in the woods, and they just open up these cages, and you just see this fucking horde of turkeys charging against the line.
Benjamin Franklin's there. Order 66.
Send out, release the turkeys. That's what they do.
But yeah,
that's how they make.
It seemed like Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey, which this picture, the one they show, it's not too bad, but they got that gross looking neck thing.
That's true.
And I've heard they're not very smart. Although, if you try to hunt turkeys, it's really, really difficult. Oh, shoot.
I've never actually gone to hunt a turkey.
I haven't either.
I've never been. You never have either?
Mm-mm. It's tough because you have to wear a lot of camo. They have really good eyesight, so if you move too much or whatever, they'll pick it up and get spooked.
It requires you to get up way too early in the morning.
But imagine, Richard, if we lived in a world where Ben Franklin got his way, and so they're like, okay, well, turkeys are our national bird, so you cannot kill a turkey. So then it's oh shit, well, what do we do for Thanksgiving?
That's a good fucking point.
Bald eagle. Now we have to eat bald eagle for Thanksgiving.
You know what? I'd actually be kind of fine with that. You know why? Because fuck eagles.
I don't know how good that would taste. Surely not very good.
I wouldn't have came in there with a blanket. I would have came in there with a fucking frying pan. Bong.
Your dinner, bird.
I'm putting you in the freezer, bird.
Yeah, could you? That's probably Franklin had to go back in the past and get that switch because he lived in a world where you can't have turkey for Thanksgiving.
And then my wife's like, "What are we having for Thanksgiving?" And I'm like, "Sweet revenge."
I found its nest. We're having scrambled eggs too.
Morning after.
Well, Richard, so we're 4th of July as we kind of tidy this up. So what's something that you enjoy of 4th of July?
I love the fact that 4th of July we just talked about killing a bald eagle. America. You know what? That's my closing thought. My closing thought is we live in a country where I can talk about beating the ever-living fuck out of a bald eagle with a pan and then eating it for a holiday to celebrate everything that I have. That's America to me. That's the America I want to live in, Sean.
And you do. You can voice those things. You just can't do it.
Despite how much I want to.
All eagles or just that one?
And there's a bird, there's an eagle flying around somewhere that owes me $200 for a fucking window. Son of a bitch. I will find you.
All right, Richard, let me do a little bit of housekeeping as we clean up from this bird crashing into our house. Visit our website. We're at languageabroas.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're at languageabro. Email us at eatthebeaver@languageabroas.com. Check out the LLB Army Intelligence Reports. Like us on Facebook and go out and recruit somebody for the LLB Army by getting someone you know to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and Alexa.
And when you're there, be sure to leave a rating and a review. You can give us 5 stars. You can give us 50 stars. You can give us 0 stars. You can give us 1 star. It doesn't matter because whatever you want, because we love your reviews. We love to hear what you think.
It's a free country, so give us the review you want. We can take it.
That's right, because we live in America where you can leave a review and be like, please don't kill a bald eagle.
When it comes down to it, Richard, we live in a free country, and what makes it great is that each of us can share our own opinions, good or bad, dumb or smart. Each one of us, Richard, share something in common.
Yeah.
We're all Americans.
Well, except for the people that aren't.
That's true. And remember, you can always find us as part of the most American podcast network out there, the Pod Bros Network.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they all love eagles.
And if you have a little bit of money that with the eagle on it and you want to throw it our way, make sure you join our Patreon accounts, www.patreon.com/languageofbromance, and be like our LO Army member, Wendy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, as much as I don't like eagles, I do like money.
Ooh, so when money starts going away, like when it's just credits essentially, like because it's all electronic, like are we going to lose? Like, is the next generation going to not respect the eagle?
No, because it'll still be on like the Seal and it'll be on the Colbert Report.
All right, Richard, was there anything else before I close her out?
Fuck eagles.
Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Sean.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver. Todd, which side do you have the rug this time?
Oh, my God.